Who wants to do a metaphor session with me? Who wants to play with this? Any men? No man has been on stage yet. Gosh, I'm so nice to people. Hey, tell me what's going on before you come up here.
Growing up, the metaphor that I always heard was, money does not grow on trees. So coming to this training or even getting involved in getting an education, et cetera, it was always thought that it's going to be a financial struggle. So really trying to get that out and knowing that the universe will bring whatever I need, but I do have that stuck in places.
Okay, let's do it.
How do you feel about money? Most people say they get tense and nervous when they think about it. And often people say this tension is something that holds them back. In this coaching session with Magali Pesha, we're going to meet Sean, who is the leader of a nonprofit organization. Sean had spent his entire career creating a real positive impact for thousands of people. And yet, when it came to money, he often felt stressed and helpless. At a live training with Magali Pesha, he raised his hand to get some coaching. You're going to see Magali use a powerful coaching strategy called metaphor strategy, which will help Sean to discover how to feel more confident and at ease about money.
Well, I'm glad we're doing this. We're going to have fun with metaphors. So tell me more about that. What you heard, what it is for you, like how has that evolved in you, that metaphor about money?
Well, first I declared that I would not get on this stage unless you said something about men. I noticed no men had come on. I said, if she says no man has come on stage, I'm going to come on stage.
Oh, I knew what to say, yes.
Sometimes a client will tell you, plain and simple, that they're reluctant to be there. This concern is universal. When this happens, it's important to focus on building trust. Let's see how Magali does that.
I work with folks who are homeless. I'm an executive director for a nonprofit.
Oh, great.
Most of our clients just financially on the margins of life.
Yeah.
But I tell them how rich they are, and they look at me like I'm crazy. When I came to the mission 17 years as a volunteer and I saw homeless people plugging in cell phones, I thought, I didn't have a cell phone at the time. These guys are rich. So I start to relate that sometimes I was a college student. I couldn't afford a cell phone. So that was the beginning of learning from other people's perspective. People may not see.
I thought you were going to say they were rich in their heart or something, but you.
Well, I mean that too,
yes,
of course. But the visual, what I saw
first was the cell
that was
phone,
very impressive.
In an intervention focused on his emotions about money, Sean starts by mentioning that even homeless people used to feel rich to him. Magali's looking for ways to make Sean more comfortable, so she's going to ask him to help answer her questions.
You know, I never thought I'd go to a homeless mission. People would plug in cell phones.
Yeah.
What?
I have questions about that. I wonder, how does that work? How do they pay the bill for the cell phone?
Because many of them have finances. So I work in Oakland, very expensive real estate. So they become homeless because of they've lost their house, and it's easy to be locked out because now the prices are so exorbitant. So that's how that happens. So they do have some financials. They'll get a benefit from the government, maybe from working. They'll get SSI from
so they do have bank accounts. They do have a way to pay for things often.
Maybe not bank accounts, but they'll get a check. And they'll go cash their check.
And they'll pay. Okay, I've always wondered that. So you're hitting on a point that, I spent a lot of time in cafes, and the people I talked to were often homeless in cafes.
Right.
Yeah,
and some of them, when I got to know them, now I've been 4 years as the director, had more money than I had, and I'm the director, and I'm like, financially they are not just able to manage their money, and that becomes an issue. Now let's see what you're doing. I mean, if you're drinking $300-400 worth of alcohol, we can manage that somewhere else, and then you can start getting some housing. But that buy-in becomes something that I understood. I said, I know because I'm number 9 of 11 children. So financially, money doesn't grow on trees was an easy way for my mom to say, you can't go to the movies, we can't afford it right now.
But
I wish she would have said
metaphor.
we can't afford it right now. But she said, no, money don't go play somewhere, you know. So
Okay.
I learned
And
how
then
to
what metaphors have you used for yourself around money, like through your life?
just sneak into the movie,
So you find a workaround.
work around, you know.
Work around.
Get with friends that have enough money to pay for you to go to the movie. So funny thing, I start really attracting some very financially stable people who wanted to say, come to the
Okay.
movies with us, man.
Okay.
I don't have the money today, and just being transparent. Oh man, I got you. Come on, man, you're funny. We want to see what you're gonna say after this movie. So I'd say something funny worth coming back the next time, right? So
You used your strength. So really out of this problem, real situational,
survival.
there's nothing pretend about not having money. And you created a way to
Right. And they thought it was funny
be
that
joyful
I
and-
snuck in the popcorn and the drink.
Yeah.
And you hear my popcorn bag open
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But I thought it was actually,
So that was kind of a younger you. Now fast
was a younger
forward.
me.
Tell me right now what the, or in between then and now, what other metaphors have kind of, how you see it.
I still see that I have to be cognitive of, I have to really connect consciously that still permeates who I am, really. Coming here.
What do you mean that permeates that lack, that sense of not having enough?
oh man, I got to get a deal. Sometimes as a black person, I feel like maybe I'm getting the black deal. I'm not getting the best deal. And I don't want I want the same deal as everybody else. I don't want the worst deal.
We don't have a deal based on any.
I know, exactly. But that's not your issue. It's my
it's
issue,
your
and I have to
issue.
realize it.
Okay, got it.
It's not-
I was thinking.
No, I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about in buying a car and renting
Yeah,
a property.
okay,
Are
got
you
it.
Latino? Do you understand? You're shaking your head. But you understand
I do.
You do? Wonderful. Why do you understand?
Because I've experienced that as well.
That you'll get
I think sometimes that I get a deal that's different than what other people do.
and the deal is worse, or is it better? Oh, worse, yeah. Yeah. Well, and statistically, I did some study.
Well,
that
that's probably true.
It is true.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you shop online, the price is different. You go in person, well, we're going to sell you this. I want to pay cash, and they want me to get this credit deal for, 110% interest.
So
They think I
deals
don't know.
are important then.
Deals are important.
And fairness.
That's really what it boils down to. That I want to be
Fairness.
transparent, and I want the same. I don't want a better deal. I hear folks will come into my office when I was doing real estate, and they would say, "You gonna hook me up because I'm black, right?" And I would say, "Yes, of course." I start to learn not to say no, to say yes, and I'm gonna give you the best deal because all they wanted was the same deal as the Caucasian person. They thought that they were getting the best. They wanted. If I told them that guy right there, I'm giving you the same deal, and if he was white, good enough. That was what I want. I want to be treated just like. He didn't want a better
And
deal.
did you treat them all fairly?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay, I was
Yes,
just wondering.
yes.
Just
But
wondering.
I did know some colleagues that wouldn't tell somebody about it.
Uh-huh.
We would have a move-in special, and they wouldn't tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they just but I told them.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still working with the homeless now?
Yes, I'm the
Okay.
executive director
You're
for
the
the
executive
Open Door
director.
Mission. We love volunteers and we love ideas. www.todm.org. That's our website.
We'll link to that. Okay.
Would you please?
We'll link to
Okay,
that.
we'll link it.
Okay.
Sean's making clear that he's not afraid to tell it like it is, even a potentially awkward issue to talk about like race. If he thinks it, he's not afraid to say it. So it's great having an honest client who will push back so that together they can find what's really true.
So right now in your life, when you think about money,
Yes.
we could do fairness also, but let's stay with money right
Yes.
now. You just think about money, finances. Do you have any image that comes to you of what it is for you now? Not the metaphor from your mom, not your workarounds, but just like an image of it, like it could be an animal, it could be a place, it could be anything.
It's a monster.
It's a
fear.
monster. It's
It's a
fear.
fear.
Okay.
It's a fear.
So let's look at that monster. Let's pretend that monster is actually right here. Can't hurt us because it's
Okay.
in this
He's in a
like
cage.
globe. It's like totally protected.
Okay.
And it's protected and we're protected, but it's here.
Okay.
Now that Sean has clarified some of his attitudes about money, he picks a metaphor, a monster. Now, we want that metaphor to be vivid, so Magley suggests they put it on the table. But we also want it to be safe, so they put a glass globe around it to protect Sean.
So tell me what that monster looks like, and you can close your eyes if you want to. I like to keep my eyes closed all the time.
Oh.
If I could just coach always with my eyes
The
closed.
monster's there. I'm going to watch
Okay.
him. Put my eye on him.
Okay, say that again.
I said, I'm watching the monster. I don't
You
want to
watch
close
him.
my
You
eyes.
don't want to
No,
close
no,
your
I'm
eyes.
not
Okay.
closing my eyes.
One way to build trust with a client is to demonstrate trust. So even as Sean is keeping his eyes open on the monster, Magley's going to demonstrate trust by closing her eyes.
Tell me what he looks like.
He's laughing at me.
He laughs.
He's
Okay.
laughing at me.
Is there a why there that he's laughing? Does he know something you don't know? Does
Exactly.
he knows something.
He does know something I don't know.
Okay. And what's his face like?
Oh, it's a big, just big old teeth that are just maybe golden big teeth.
Awesome. Does he make any sounds? Like, he's stuck. I mean, we've got him stuck
the
in
song,
this.
Money, money, money is all around him. He's got money sounds on.
Does he mind being in this? Like, I created this glass bowl around him because I didn't
no,
want
he
him
knows
out
he's coming
near
out.
me. Oh,
got
he's
his hair
coming
kinda
out
like that,
Oh,
too.
so he knows he's coming out. Okay.
He knows he's coming out because he got money. He's got access.
Oh, so he'll find a way.
Oh, he'll find
a way out.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think he's afraid of?
What is he afraid of?
With all that money
He's
and that
afraid of-
meanness, what is
He's
he
afraid of me taking what he has.
So he's not good at sharing.
No,
No, he's not very connected or
not
loving.
connected.
Okay. And would you say that money in itself is not a connective thing?
No, I think it is.
You think it is.
Yeah,
So
that's
part
why
of
I
you
wanna
thinks
show
it
them.
is.
We're going to share. You're going to be more. You're going to be happier.
Okay.
Oh, I know it is.
So you want the monster to actually grow
Absolutely.
and evolve.
Absolutely.
So you kind of care for the
Oh,
monster.
I care for the monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good
okay.
monster.
Notice that in metaphor strategy, we don't worry about keeping things consistent. First, the monster was money. Then it had gold teeth. Then it wanted to keep money away from Sean. Now Sean is concerned about the monster, wanting it to be more connected. That's a good metaphorical flow. We don't contradict it and we don't go backwards. We continue to develop this imaginary metaphor together, and in the meantime, Sean's brain is becoming more activated, more creative, more resourceful, and more capable of answering any questions he has.
Was he cute when he was little? Like, I think all monsters were adorable at one
Well,
point.
he's not cute. I'm a guy, but he's cool.
You know, the way a baby dog is cute.
No.
Okay.
That's a cool dog, man. That's a cool dog. I like your dog. That's a cool dog.
All right.
I told a little kid
So he was
cute.
cool once. When he was little and tiny, he was
He's
cool.
cool still, but
Okay.
he doesn't know he's cool.
He doesn't know he's cool.
He's just
Okay.
protective of his stuff.
So what would he need if he had skills? If you were coaching him, that monster with the gold teeth and that sort of what's that word that he has that he's hoarding? He's doesn't want to share. He doesn't even know that he can probably. What would you want him to have?
I would want him to have that sixth human need, which is the growth. I mean, the contribution.
Contribution.
The
You want him to have
contribution.
contribution.
Yeah, he has to. When you contribute, and I think before you write a check, you should contribute. You should come in
With your time, with your
with,
heart.
with your and see what you're contributing to whatever that organization is. Go and see, because it's easy to write a check and think you've done something, and you probably would do more if you were to go and see and experience where your contribution is, because you see that your check was.
So that's a strong belief,
Yeah.
probably from your experience,
From
that
my
that's helpful to
experience, yeah.
people. But is it possible that some monsters might evolve without contributing, but they might become quite gentle, loving in their own way?
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
I think that total growth comes, that fifth element comes after. You have to
You
that
have to
last thing has
contribute. That
contribute.
says- yeah,
You have
okay.
to contribute. I feel, from my experience, in a way that you may never have thought you would, like seeing the guy in the coffee shop and actually interacting with him and finding out about his life.
Yeah.
And then not just giving him $1, but
Right.
really listening to his story, finding out that he has more dollars maybe in his pocket, but he doesn't know how to use them, but you know how to use them, and you can really contribute to his life or her life.
So that connection is key to contribution.
Absolutely.
Because some people actually, I mean, just kind of as a expansion idea, that it seems to me some people contribute without speaking a word to another person. They contribute in their prayers or in their, or with their money, like you know, when I hear of some celebrity, I remember hearing once about Sarah Bullock just writing $1 million check right away to some catastrophe. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, even though she might not go there, that's a big chunk of
I think that's pretty cruel.
cruel. You
I
think that's cruel? So this is a
because she
deep.
might have given it to an organization, and I won't mention any names, but they didn't give it to them, Haiti.
Okay.
And they didn't really that $1 million.
Okay, so but I
was
mean, so
just
there are
used for
issues. So
administrative.
she wasn't. So a person needs to be educated about money
Exactly.
too. So
Educated.
education, and they have to see down the line. So they have to have a good view into the future. It's not just a temporary action. They got to know about where the money's going. Tell me, fill it in for me.
I think you can feel when you go into an organization, you go, oh, this is real. Or you'll talk to the people. If you came to my organization, you talk to people.
Okay.
And you get to hear their stories outside of me. I've seen people pull people out, you know, and really talk to them and get to see, really, do you think that this organization is helping people from the person who's being helped? That's essential to me to contribute it. Contribution has to be
Knowing.
really putting your finger on the pulse.
Yeah. So it's not a distant thing.
It's wonderful when a client can teach you about their values. Sean first started with his upbringing, his mother's beliefs, the creative ways that he got into the movies despite never having money, how he didn't have a cell phone even though his homeless clients did, and how money was like a monster to him. These were his reactions to financial issues. Now he's sharing his deeper values for how money should be used, and how it shouldn't be used as a replacement for actually personally caring about people. This is important to understand. Now the question is, can they turn the money monster into something else?
So it seems like money is central to this larger kind of life purpose for you.
Sure.
And which isn't for everybody. Some people just want to use money as, like, want to deal with it as little as they can. They want to think about it as little as possible. But for you, it's like a way to do good.
Sure.
Tell me about, like, if there was, okay, we got monster money.
Right.
Now let's make like angel money. What would angel money look like? And they can both be here side by side on either side of the planter.
And they are. I would hope that Monster would transform, like he's a caterpillar who goes into a butterfly.
Okay.
So I think that the monster money is the angel money.
Okay.
It's
So
just-
tell me about angel money.
So angel money is it's contributing and knowing, you know, the purpose behind writing the check beyond just, okay, there was a catastrophe. It's almost proactive as
Okay.
opposed to reactive.
So imagine for a moment that you're sitting in front of angel money. You're out to lunch. Is angel money a man or a woman?
Angel money actually is a woman.
It's a woman. Great.
Looks kind of
great.
like you.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I need some gold. Okay. So tell me what angel money, tell me how she dresses.
White, flowing, lacy,
Okay.
just very free
Very
flowing.
angelic, huh?
Very angelic, yes.
Okay. And tell me more about her. Tell me what you talk about with her. What does she like to talk about?
And I think that's the issue. She does like to get involved in a relationship. It's not, I'm going to give you something, but I'm going to invest. It's
Okay.
not just give, write a check,
Okay.
but invest in
Invest.
what you're doing. So I
Okay.
want to talk to you
Okay.
about
Okay.
what are you interested in?
And,
She wants to know
She
every
wants to
person.
know. Okay. And could she possibly have a brother out there too that's more like you?
Or a husband
Or a husband that's like you?
that's like me? What do you mean?
Like you. Like if you were that angel money. Just like imagine for a moment, because I know we made her a woman, and I know you didn't like to even talk about babies being cute, so I don't think you're going to
Oh, they're
want to
cool.
wear women's clothes. So,
Did you say women's clothes? How did you know?
So I wouldn't mind you. I wouldn't mind. I'd love you to pretend to be her, but I don't
No, I
want to
can
make you
pretend
do
to be
that.
her.
Okay.
I'm
But
cool.
I want you to pretend to be that good quality of money, or is that already who you are? You don't have to pretend.
No,
Are you already that?
I think that
You
I'm
focus on
continuing to evolve
contribution.
into
You're
into
continuing
that.
to
Yes,
evolve.
it's a growth, and I know that you have to let it go and know that it's going to come back. But it's for
Okay.
me, it's not letting go. It's
So is
and I
that
just
the
realized
sticky
that.
point?
Look how Sean has relaxed and evolved so far. Earlier, he corrected Magley about calling the monster cute. Now he's open to much more. One part of relaxing and trusting is that he's able to identify the skill he wants to have, the ability to let go of money, to spend it on something important, to invest it, and trust that it'll come back.
if I get it, it's then okay. Let it go. It takes a while. I
To
can't
be able to release.
Yeah, let it go.
So spending.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I once heard a metaphor I loved long time ago in my 20s, I've never forgotten,
Okay.
said by an accountant, that money is circular,
Yes.
like a ball. It rolls away
Right.
from you, it rolls towards
Right.
you. It's always rolling.
Right.
And that always
Well,
helped me when I lost a lot of money or
Wow.
made money. I just thought, oh, the ball is coming this way or that way. Of course,
Well,
I'd get upset too, but
Right,
you know,
right.
but
it's
a nice
currency,
metaphor.
so it flows.
It flows.
A current, it flows.
Yeah.
But I do know how to strangle the flow, like the water hose. I'll tie it. Oh, maybe it's not going to come back. I better tie it.
And you want to release it. So
I
let's
wanna
make a
release it.
metaphor right now. You got the scary monster
Mm-hmm.
money, you've got the angel money, you've got this hose. How can you work with that to ease the hose, to create that flow in a picture, in an image?
The great thing about metaphor strategy is that it helps the client shift topics to whatever they need in that moment. Magley's metaphor about money rolling became a metaphor about currency, which led to the metaphor of the water hose being strangled. This became a metaphor for physical tension. This is very helpful, as physical tension is something that we can easily work on.
We have these strong metaphors here. We've got the monster money,
Right.
who's greedy, who needs to grow and evolve, and he's not doing it because he's scared.
Right.
We've got angel money, who is connected and loving, and she does things just the way you would like to in terms of contributing and getting to know it, being educated. And then we got your struggle, which is this is a flow, but you tie it up, you clench it. So what would be an unclenching metaphor?
Just to let the knot go from the hose and let it flow.
Okay, so kind of it's hard to unknot a hose.
it
Like you
is.
mean like a garden hose?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is water going to be on? I want you to really think about
Yes.
that. If the water is on and you're gonna like pull it apart. Do it right now. Just close your eyes and kind of pull apart that knot. Is there anywhere also in your body that gets knotted when you get into that struggle about receiving or giving or letting go of the money? Does it go anywhere internally too?
Yeah. To the stomach. To
The
my-
stomach.
yeah,
Okay. The gut kind of.
Right. My gut is
Yeah.
just
Okay.
tied
So
up.
When Sean locates that tension in his gut, the clenching metaphor becomes a muscular tension. And by using the metaphor strategy, we can help Sean to loosen those muscles.
So right there, also right there in your gut, can you let like that, either that metaphor of the angelic contributor go in there and ease the tension, or some other
Wow.
relaxation that goes in and just lets it release and expand and unknot, unclench, just as you're also unclenching the water hose. You unclench internally and you feel yourself. What happens to yourself when you unclench?
I feel lighter.
Lighter.
I feel
Yeah.
softer. But then I
Lighter,
also
softer.
find out, wait a minute, it was also in my heart. And I had another knot there. I have to undo that one.
Okay, so let's go to your heart now.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the knot like in your heart? Is there a different quality to it? Is it?
Actually, it was built up from the gut, so it really is pretty knotted up. I have to really
Okay.
work on getting that
So
one.
check out your shoulders when you think about your heart. Check out your shoulders and your throat and the space underneath the heart area too.
Yes.
Because sometimes that space has to grow bigger to give room to unknot the heart.
Wow.
So let that grow bigger. You can even think of having wings on your back
Wow.
that expand you out
Wow.
and letting that go.
A knot in the heart can be hard to control. It's much easier to relax shoulders and the muscles around your shoulder blades. So that's what Magali suggests. Notice Sean is relaxing. You can hear it in his voice. He's even closing his eyes to tune into himself.
Now, when you let that go, who benefits?
Wow. Everyone around me, including myself first.
Yes. So what will you have more energy or strength for?
The things I need to do, and that's one thing as I don't like to focus on myself, then I don't have to deal with, my own monsters.
So when you do this, you are focusing on yourself in the
Yes.
best way, right?
Yes.
And then,
And I'm feeling lighter, and I'm feeling healthier.
okay. What comes in as something that you want to take action in now?
What comes in that I want to take action?
Yeah,
on?
any ideas of something like if you're in this unclenched state, if money is not a struggle for you and how you're going to use it or deal with it, it's flowing, you're flowing internally. Now, any ideas of, oh, okay, now I want to do this?
Oh, well, I did on February 1st, the mission that I work at, we've been in existence. That site's almost 100 years old. And we've never done any maintenance to it. So we have money in the bank, and I inherited that from someone who was running the mission for 4 years. He'd passed, and I clenched it hard like he did. And so February 1st, I closed the mission, and I brought in every architect and every plumber and all the contract. So we're going crazy to get that property, up to speed.
Great. So you did this on the outside, but there was a
Right, but I
leftover
still-
knot on
yeah,
the
yeah.
inside.
Well, because what happens when we release this money?
Yeah.
We're not going to have any.
Yeah, but how will the community benefit from
Major.
that?
Just to physically, this building has been an eyesore. I went to the planning committee, and they were like, "Where have you been? We've been waiting 40 years for you to come and say you want to do something." Wow. So I said, "Do you have any money for it?" No. We have.
So
We want to charge you money.
okay,
But
so you've done this.
we
You've
have
taken the
literally,
action,
yeah.
and there was this
But I'm
leftover.
still, feeling
Where
it.
else in your life can you still? So if you're not just right now,
Mm.
but tomorrow, the next day, forever, you're continuing to always unknot anything that gets tangled around this currency.
Mm-hmm.
When, where else, other than the mission? Is there any other parts of your life? Relationships, communications?
How are you in my head? Yes, my relationship with my fiance.
As a client gets more and more resourceful in metaphor strategy, their mind is thinking, where else can I focus this problem-solving attention? Sometimes a new problem will pop up, like a relationship. Magali thought it might be the case, and it's true. So we can shift the metaphor now to Sean's relationship.
If you're unknotted on the inside, just imagine you are. Feel that unknottedness. And then think about a time with your fiance in the future. How will you be experiencing that if you're unknotted?
Ooh, boy.
Or better?
I can listen to her, and that the exercise that we did yesterday, the quiet, the
Yeah.
non-verbal, and she said, "Oh, you were so supportive and you heard me." I said, "I've never heard that from a woman before." I said, "I should have said nothing. That's what I should do. I just did this." And she thought that was wonderful. I said, "Why didn't I ever do this?"
Oh,
Right? I couldn't believe that. She said that I didn't say nothing. I normally say stuff. So be quiet and just go. Good, right? I'm practicing.
It's great in coaching to be able to laugh together. It helps both of you. Magali's showing how much she enjoys Sean's sense of humor.
will you do
Really,
that
you're
with your fiance?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to send her pictures.
Yeah.
Wow. I have 7 sisters, so they're very, They want.
You had to defend yourself.
Yes. They were very, they're
Girls
not-
can be mean.
Oh
I
my
know,
God!
I'm sorry.
I couldn't believe any guy would want to.
know.
Why? People are. They breath stink. They ugly. What are you doing? Why? They didn't see them when I didn't see them outside of the house.
Yeah.
Like, you like my why? Poor guy.
Yeah.
But that's the same they feel about their sister because
Yeah.
you see them.
So all those
Inside
7
out.
sisters, they made some knots in there
Oh,
too.
my
So
Lord.
we gotta untie those
Oh, my
for your
goodness, yeah.
fiance.
Yeah.
So okay, you're untying that. Tell me about the knot related to your fiance. Does it have a color? Does it have a texture? Is it anywhere inside?
It's a big ball. It's
A big
hard
ball. Big
rock.
ball. And inside that rock, is there a part that knows it's love?
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that metaphors are imaginary. Both coach and client can change them. So as soon as Sean mentions the rock in his heart, Magali asks whether there's love inside. And there is. Now he has love in his heart.
So can you go right to the inside of the rock and work out the tangle, the knottiness, like from the inside? How can you magically unravel it?
That's what I'm here for.
So let's do it right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Just
Oh,
imagine how that rock looks and go into the center of it where you find the goodness. Because everything, you said even the monster had a goodness.
Oh yes.
So in that rock, you find that goodness and you allow it to dissolve, or what's your word? I don't want to give
No,
you
that's
words.
what I wanted. I didn't want to say that I need to break the rock, but I kind of liked the rock because it did as a. I was very nice and gentle with my sisters, and they would just take advantage of anything, And I just thought, oh, you got to be stronger. And they would tell me, you can't be such a pushover. I would fall for anything. I just thought, so anyhow, so I then, I
So then you
developed that
became a rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that,
And now
in that
I
center,
don't like
though.
that rock. I want to break it to little pebbles.
Okay, so what would do that? Does it need heat? Does it need a
It needs
tool? What does
yes,
it
it
need?
needs a strong chisel.
A strong chisel.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine yourself
Knocked out.
going at it. Are you chiseling from the inside or from the
no,
outside?
from the outside.
From the
From the
outside.
outside.
Okay, so just,
Yeah.
and is it you or do you have a team doing it? It doesn't have to just be you. You can have helpers.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, you can put people to work.
I'm good at that too.
Yeah, I thought so.
Chisel.
If you're
Oh,
a director,
You're
an
good.
executive director, you
Oh,
must know how to
Oh,
delegate.
Yes, I do.
So
I do.
when you feel that rock, can you delegate? Who would be your team that you would use to delegate? Like archetypes, like they could be whatever you want them
Right.
to
Well,
be.
my sister's my assistant.
Oh, your
Yeah, she
sister.
works for
Oh,
me.
for
Yeah.
real?
For real.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Could you give your 7 sisters chisels in your imagination to break apart that rock? Because
that would
they
be
helped
good.
you make it. Maybe
Yes.
they owe you this.
Oh,
That
they
would be
do.
fair.
That would be really fair.
Yeah.
When a metaphorical action seems difficult, like chiseling a rock, remember that you can always make it easier. For instance, by adding a team. Sean suggests that his sisters could help. Do you see how this works within Sean's world? The sisters that help to make the rock will help break it down.
They're strong ladies because that would be sand, the rock.
Oh, so it would
It
just
would
totally
just
go.
chip- oh,
They
yeah,
would do
they're-
it like
they're-
that.
they're-
So they're fast.
They're fast.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have any brothers too?
Oh yeah, I have 3 brothers.
3 brothers. Can they help you in some way with this rock?
If those girls are working, I don't know.
Oh, they get to sit around with
They
you
get
and
to-
enjoy
yeah,
that they're working.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're next.
They're next. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to happen when the rock is gone with your fiance?
Wow. I think the lightness that she's been craving and wanting is going to be there.
And how is that experienced in you? How do you experience lightness with her? Imagine the rock's gone and you have that weight off your shoulders. What is it going to be like when you're with her on your experience? And you don't have to say it out loud. You can just imagine it. Okay. And are there words that you can tell her about this, I don't know what you'd put it as, a hope or this experience, the way you want this to be with her, so she knows, even if there are days that are heavy, because life is that way.
Sure.
We have sad days, we have
Sure.
hard days, but you still tell her in words that you understand her need for this lightness and that you also know that it's important, that it's powerful.
But I think that what I realize right now is that I need this lightness.
You need this lightness.
I needed
yes.
the lightness that she was asking for, but I needed it first.
And can you tell her?
And I have it. And I have it.
You haven't told her.
I haven't told her, but I have it now.
An amazing thing about Metaphor is that the changes you ask for can happen instantly. Magali thought that Sean would have to ask his sisters for help, but the fact is, as soon as he imagined it, he could feel the lightness that he wanted to have. Now he's going to talk about how this rock affected his relationship.
And I would tell her, I would say, oh, I know you're just like one of my sisters, I'm just waiting to see it. I know you've got the same stuff. And she, I'm not like them. I'm totally different. Oh, no. I have 7 sisters. You've got to be one of them. I haven't seen it yet.
I keep thinking of the 7 dwarfs, like in your Snow White. Yeah.
Yes, and that's them. But the funny, and I could tell, yeah. They're Sleepy, Kanisha. Latrice is Dopey. And
Is there a doctor? Is there a healer in there, like the little doctor?
Oh, little Wanda, the oldest, is the doctor.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
She actually works with counseling.
Yeah. Okay, so go back to this experience of lightness that you're going to tell your fiance that she's not your sister.
I'm going to say she's not any of those.
No.
She's just her, and I've been looking for her to come out and scare me. But she's not none of any of them, because I broke that rock and I was able to see that she's just her.
And what if one day you're wearing the wrong kind of glasses to see her and you see her as scary? Can you recognize that inside that scariness is probably fear or something else?
Oh, it has been.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And can you, in this experience of this lightness you felt, can you imagine her right now feeling it too?
Oh,
because you're feeling it?
Yes.
So you kind of
She
lend it
definitely
to her?
does. Absolutely.
Or she already does?
I know she will.
She
I
will.
can feel when she's sick. I can tell her. I'll call her. She's in Jamaica. I'll call her and say, I know you're not feeling well because I'm not feeling well. And I have no reason not to be feeling well. Everything is good, but I know your back is hurting. She'll go, yes. How did you know?
Wow.
I
So
can feel.
she feel, and she feels your
and
energy
she'll feel
too?
if I'm truly, sincerely telling her I let go of that. She'll know. She'll say, yeah, I felt that.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So there's this very deep connection.
Oh, there's a definite,
super
yes,
deep connection.
Yes.
It's great when a strategy can bring a client to focus on their strengths. In this case, Sean's deep connection, which even enables him to know how she's feeling when they're apart. Now, towards the end of the session, it's nice to get some takeaways, things that the clients can do when they go home.
Is there anything you want to carry away into your life that you do?
Just letting it flow and not
flow.
having the big, untie the knots. And
Untying
knowing
the
kind of
knots.
where they came from is okay. It actually helped me, but now I can let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started by making it an object, a
Right.
representation, the hose that you could do, and
Yeah.
then you found it in your body.
Right.
And then you moved to where else in the body and what other part of your life
Right.
had that same constriction. So that's the same process.
Mm-hmm.
If the knots ever pop out again or you feel another knot, same thing, object, where is it inside, relaxing it, where else now do I need to go? So that's the progression. And I'd actually like it if you'd be willing to commit to 3 minutes a day where you think of this money constriction or relationship, whatever, and you do this same thing. And one day it could be a hose, another day it could be a rock, something else.
Okay.
It can change.
Okay.
But every day, 3 minutes for 1 week.
Sure.
Yeah? So we just keep that
Okay.
keep that expansion. And you might go from just lightness to incredible bursting joy or something else. I don't know.
Okay.
So also the expansion continues too as you use this metaphor. It's not just the metaphor.
Right. Wow.
Okay. And what time of day do you think you could commit to? Is there something you do every day, like lunch at the same time or brushing your teeth? Or because we like to link it to an actual activity so it makes it more available to you.
Well, I do a walk at 8 in the morning.
Oh, perfect. You want to do it at the end of the walk, beginning of the walk, while you walk?
Or, yeah.
Okay. So if you hit the end of the walk and you haven't done it, you're going to take at least 2 minutes to do it?
Sure.
Okay. And if you ever, don't think this will happen to you, but sometimes days go by and we forget to do
Right.
something.
Oh, no.
Then just go, it's okay, no shame, no guilt, just do it now. When I remember, that's perfect. That's the moment.
Right.
And that's the other thing to kind of remember. Whenever we are reminded of our constriction, whatever it is, in that moment of being reminded of our constriction, there's actually a letting go. Because you are no longer in that state of constriction when you're aware of it. Just that awareness brings a little bit of release to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like if people are unconscious, like those guys with the money you were talking about, unconscious of what they had, and you pointed it out to them,
Right.
you were bringing awareness. You were
Sure.
actually changing a little bit what was going on for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you do that probably with everybody.
Right. I
Yeah.
believe when you know better, you do better. Sometimes it's just you didn't know, you didn't think of it. You're so focused on the problem.
Right.
And that's
right.
what I said I was not going to talk about my sister. How did you get me to do that?
Well, we started with the cute little baby monster, and you didn't want a baby monster, so then I don't
you
know,
moved
it
to
went to
sisters.
sisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Okay.
'Cause
All
that was-
right. Well,
Part of the issue.
this was fun. This was
Wow.
fun.
Thank you so
I
much.
love this. I love metaphors, and
Wow.
yours were beautiful
Wow.
and great and powerful. So thank you.
Thank you.
One thing that's powerful about metaphor is that it enables one image to turn into something else. Since our minds create metaphors spontaneously, metaphors can help a client to speed up their process of solving problems. Sean thought his question was about money, but he was able to go deeper than that to a difficulty in letting go what he experienced, not only money, but not only work, but also in his relationships, and ultimately with himself. With Magali's coaching, he was able to unclench that tension, first in the form of a garden hose, then in his gut, then in his heart, until he felt a lightness that he realized he'd been waiting for a long time. He's going to go home now to his fiancée more clear, more open, and more relaxed. And he'll come away with a 2-minute process for relaxation that we know he'll be able to make it work. Why? Because he developed the metaphor himself during the session. That's the power of metaphor strategy. Here's what Sean said later about his work with us.
So I'm Sean Slaughter. I am an executive director for a nonprofit in Oakland, California. I came to this wonderful, incredibly well-baked cake of a seminar expecting some personal growth, but I've experienced far deeper than I could have imagined. I was able to get some personal coaching with Magali, and it was incredible, life-changing. So I am eternally grateful for what has transpired here. I know it's going to impact my personal life and my professional life. So I really thank you to Strategic Intervention Boot Camp for being more than I could have ever imagined it to be.